All right, guys, we're back again, man. Sorry about the technical difficulties, but we're back again. You know we're gonna come through no matter what. I don't know how you do it. I don't care. We gotta come from the Dubai or come from Africa, come from Jamaica. You know the boy's gonna be back. This your boy once again, Coach Low for Life, aka the Camp King. And boy, we got another great week of the high school wrap up, bringing it to you on Sports Club Florida. Sports Club Florida bring all the news to you, all over Central Florida, from high school to college. We might even throw some pro athletes in there. Why? Because we are Central Florida and we represent everybody who represents Central Florida in the football world. But hey, this is it. Good week. Now, my boy, Coach Katt, he's coming in very soon. So y'all hold tight because he ready to come in and say hello. Because y'all know how he do it. So he get ready to come in. We got some things we got going on. And we got a lot of great things going on. But listen, I still, you don't just get Coach Lowe. Because Coach Lowe going to do it one way and Mr. Right Choice going to do it another. Tag team, the 1-2 punch. Mr. Right Choice, you ready to rock and roll today?
Yeah, I'm ready to rock and roll real quick. I'm gonna put you by yourself for a second so I can call in Cat.
Well, good. But Katt, man, listen, my boy Katt coming in. But you know what? I got to just kind of give it to you. There was a lot of great things going on in the high school circuit today. And one thing that was interesting that for me was when Jones High School and Edgewater played on a Saturday and not on a Friday. Very interesting, right? Why do we move that game? Nah, we'll talk about that in a moment. Right. Then we're also going to talk about some things that went on with the TFA, right? They had some things came up out of nowhere, but overcome adversity was a great for TFA and his staff. Still did a great job out there on Friday night. Because hey, somebody try to bring you down, but if you're doing things right, you're doing with integrity, nothing can bring you down. So keep rocking TFA. Other than that, hey, y'all seen it happening right there with Coach Prime over there with them Colorado boys battling Colorado State last year. Prime and the boys scraped through and won that game. This year they did it with ease, with fashion, because I guess Colorado State felt like they can talk a lot of noise, talk a lot of trash this time, right? Colorado State felt like they had the watch on. They can say, "Get down, boy, you ain't on my level." But hey, listen, the best athlete in college football showed up and showed out. Listen, a lot of people going against the Prime. A lot of people going against Travis Hunter and Shadur and the rest of the whole staff. He got a great staff. They got Hall of Famers out. They got the Mr. Warren Sapp, aka Apaka Finest, right? He got a guy like T.O. on the sideline doing his thing. But listen, here's the thing. What does that mean? We can't do that. We can't show up and show out. We can't be flashy. We got to do a thing this way and that way. We have to walk in a straight line. We have to wear a suit and tie. Times have changed, guys. Think about this right here. Look at the commentators right now. Behind the desk, they got on what? Tennis shoes. You all think you see up top is the what? Suits and tie. But behind the desk, they got on tennis shoes. So listen, things the way people say things supposed to be, who say that is the case, and that's how it is. Now, one thing we do know, there's one thing that we have to always do is wake up in the morning and give God praise for waking us up to the morning light. Now, that's something never going to change because the only person to get you up is Him. But let's move on to one of the greatest sports on earth, which we're talking about, that sport of football. So now here's the question. How you feel about what's going on in the football world now today, from youth to high school, all the way to college, all the way to the NFL? How you feel about it? Dallas Cowboys 49-19 or 44-19. I don't know, man. What's going on? There's some score that not even should be even said. You know what I mean? So hey, listen. All I know is we ready to rock and roll. I got my boy Katt coming on right now. And when Katt get on here, we're going to go ahead and start breaking it down because everybody looking forward, seeing what happened last week on Friday night in all the games in our top 10. Who going to stay on the top 10? Who coming off the top 10? Who going to stay at the top? And who's going to the bottom? Because somebody got to win, somebody got to lose. So that's the question. Who won the game? Who lost the game? For those that don't know, you're going to get it right here from Coach Lowe. We're going to break down that top 10. Who won, who lost, who did good, and who did not. Then we're going to get ready to go into the big three. We have a big three game that we do every single week, right? And that did not disappoint us again. Rival games that came out to be a great contest and gives a lot of action on the field. What's the last thing is there? What's the last thing we're going to talk about is the players of each game. Then we're going to come out and give you the player of the week. out of the 3 games. We do that every week too. Why do we do what we do at Sports Club Florida? Why? Give our athlete in Central Florida what? An opportunity to showcase, an opportunity to be on the screen, to be on the microphone, to talk, impact, exposure. That's what it's all about with Sports Club Florida and boy Coach Lowe, Coach Katt, and Mr. Right Choice.
Oh
There's
Jesus.
only one way to do it, and that's to do it right. And the right way to do it is make sure our young man, our athlete from Central Florida, is well spoken, that can talk, shake a man's hand, look him in the eye, say, "Hello, how you doing? My name is Lowe Wood. It's a pleasure meeting you. Right? I'm glad to have an opportunity of being the player of the week." These are the things that we want to do, and everyone should be doing. Not just dancing and showboat. That's great. That comes when you score a touchdown. But what happened when the equipment comes off? What happened when the helmet come off? What happened when the shoulder pads come off? What happened when the pants come off? You put them on like everybody else. You take them off like everybody else. But what you don't do like everyone else is the same different type of character. So
So,
listen, that's why Sports Club Florida is doing it. Mr. Right Choice. Are we ready to rock and roll?
well, we're gonna see. We can rock and roll. I'm gonna pull up all the top 10 real quick with the scores, and I don't know if Cat audio is working or not, but here we go.
Well, let's just do it. Well, let's get right into the
Going
top
on
10.
mute.
And Coach Cat,
You
I
gotta
see.
unmute me. There I go. There I go.
There we go.
Hello.
There we go, Cat.
We in the
Coach Cat,
building.
what's going on?
You already know. My baby boy's birthday was today. They made it 1 year around the sun. You hear me? But other than that, it was a crazy week in high school football here in Central Florida. Once again, our top 3 games came down. Hey, your boy done did it again. 3-0 another week. Hello.
Hello.
Um, but we have some new games for this week as well as some other scores. But here is our top 10, and here are the scores from these games here. Jones took on Edgewater. The score ended up being 31-21. Coco took on Heritage. Score was 31-13. TFA had MCC, which they defeated 42-6. Lake Mary had a bye week. Edgewater again played Jones. Seminole took on Monarch. The score was 30-26. Bishop Moore took on Mount Dora 27-14. Spruce Creek took a loss to Camden County. The score was 20-47. Dr. Phillips, one of our games of the week, took on Ocoee. The score ended up being 21-7. And last but not least, the University Titans took on Deltona and handled business 46-7 decisively. Okay.
Well, listen. Well, there you have it right there from Coach Cat breaking down that top 10, our top 10. Once again, like Mr. Right Choice always says, it's just our opinion based on the coaches, based on the history, based on the rivalry, based on the athletes and what they have done in the past itself. But now, definitely, I like the fact that our top 10 also had an opportunity being in our big 3. But just a recap right here with Coach Cap was just saying, just kind of a nice little recap. When you look at it, we're not going to talk about the big 3. We'll talk about that a little next. But we will talk about Coco, right? Had a game down there playing against Heritage. And then definitely what I like about Coco, they continue to doing what they always do is when they play teams they're supposed to beat by a large margin, they do well. They're putting 30, 40 points average a game on teams like that. It's very impressive because one thing we try to explain to everybody, you can't play a team that's supposed to beat bad and you're bad to beat them, you struggle with. That will determine my decision or my pick whether you should be higher in the top 10 or lower in the top 10. Like for instance, let's take a TFA that went there and played Melville Calvary Christian, and without a couple of their key players on the team, they rival back behind their coaches itself. Because one thing about football, if the coach is not on point and you lose some key players, guess what? The game's gonna go a bad direction. But here, when you got coaches that are doing what they're supposed to do, coaching guys up, not just the one to starter. One thing about TFA, after going to their practice, they coach up everyone. And sure enough, there you go. They're putting up another 42-6 against a team. So they did what they're supposed to do. Lake Mary had a week to rest up because they are going to play against a very stingy defense next week. The Dr. Philip Panther. They're coming to the Panther country, along with head coach Rotten Well. That defense is stingy. They don't do too much, and they will shut you down in the red zone. So Lake Mary is going to be well rested. So, wow, that definitely going to be a big game next week. Not get too much into the Edgewater, a big three. We'll talk about that next against Jones. But I'll talk about them for Seminole. That was very shocking. They played against a tough Monarch team. Everyone thought Monarch had an opportunity to win, and they did. Hey, they did. But Seminole rose up to the occasion, put it off at the end, and did a great job for San Seminole. Go Bo Key. Bishop Moore. Now, here's what I talk about when you play a team like Mount Dora, right? These are teams you think that you're supposed to dominate. Mount Dora is not a team that's going to play any powerhouse teams. They're going to play regular teams in their conference. So when I look at a Bishop Moore thing, let's go over here and put them up. Let's go up here and beat them by 40 points. But guess what? It wasn't the case. 27-14. Hey, that's what I'm talking about when you're on that top 10 for the Sports Club Florida. Hey, 2 touchdowns against that team. When I think that a team like Spruce Creek or Dr. Phillip or University probably beat that team by 4 touchdowns, we might have some change. There might be some movement in the top 10. Move that
I
train. Move
mean,
that
I,
train. Move
I
that train.
I personally believe that Bishop Moore is a very offensive minded team. They're a team that's going to outscore you every time. You get me? Their defense is they do have a couple of key players, but it is not necessarily one that will keep points off the board. We've seen them get into several. I'm not gonna say shootouts because the offense always does rise to the occasion, but the defense gets stops when they need them. So by all means, that Bishop Moore defense, they're gonna get key stops when they need them, but again, the offense is going to rise to the occasion and outscore you, especially when you're talking about Bjorn Jurgensen.
Well, I totally agree with that too. But at the same time, and with having you just said it, when you got a University of Virginia commit quarterback like him, and you got a Kenya Austin, a 3-star player over there catching the balls. I mean, hey, I still expect them to really put up a lot of points. And this game here was different. I don't know if it's an elements or in a factor where they hold it down for a big team next week. I don't know, but that there for me, they'll make a big decision, a big determination on how they move in the Sports Club Florida top 10. But let's move on to
Okay. One other little key element to that Bishop Moore offense and defense has been a key emergence by one of the rising freshmen, Mr. Ron Schroeder. If it wasn't this past week, it was last week where he had a pick six to the house, doing it both on offense and defense. This is another one of our freshman phenoms who is making big impacts right now. Impact freshmen.
That's awesome. Congratulations to Mr. Ron Schroeder making a big impact as a freshman at the Bishop Moore Hornets. But now I will say this, we keep moving down to Spruce Creek. Oh man, there you go. First, real to my opinion, I'm gonna say upset. Because you got to remember this team they went down there and play. It's not really upset, and I'm excited for Spruce Creek to put up some points because I don't know if y'all know who is Camden County, right? For those that do not know who it is, I will tell who's the head coach. The
Okay.
Daytona Beach head coach last year, who went to the state championship and they lost, is Travis Rowland.
Okay.
That's the head coach at Camden County, right? And
Okay.
that's one of them things we're talking about. Florida coaching moving up further to probably either better opportunity or making more money, and he continued doing great. And then when you put it,
Where exactly is Camden County from?
that's that's up North Georgia
Georgia?
way, up
Georgia?
north.
Okay.
And here's the thing about that. Not only did Camden County head coach Travis Rowland go up there and take that job on, he brought somebody else with him, a offensive guru, Grant Alford from Lake Minneola. People don't know Lake Minneola last year or two, their offense coordinator was Grant Alford, who actually was averaging almost 40 to 50 points a game.
40 pounds.
Right.
40
So
pounds. Get the
yeah. So
pound.
they upset at Spruce Creek from there. We're not going to talk about the Dr. Phillip. We're getting into our big three, but University did what they're supposed to do. Put up 40 plus points on a team like Deltona. Arch rivals right down the road. They represented. They got a beautiful, a star wide receiver, Jermaine Hayes over there that's doing some amazing thing. Crazy part about his brother, it's a doggone quarterback. So we got a brother throwing to a brother. Great combination over that university. They continue to win and stay undefeated and be ranked in our top 10. So excited about that right there. That's your top 10 right there, Coach Katt. So hey, we'll see how it shake up for next week.
Hey, real quick.
Yes,
So
sir.
Jeremy Brooks just said that's South Georgia, and another guy just said Dale BJ Cap. He just said it was. I guess that school's whatever in Savannah. Just
Yeah,
reading
so
this
yeah,
post
so yeah.
on.
Savannah.
So more South Georgia. I know it's Georgia was more South. Okay,
Okay.
there you go. All right, but it was right. So it was on point with that. It was Georgia, just South and North, but it's Georgia. So hey,
Hey, when we say up north Georgia, we say everything in Georgia is up north Georgia because it's
up
northern
north from
from
us.
Florida. That's where we're at. Come on, man, don't beat
Exactly.
us up now.
Right.
But
So
all right, on to our next topics, man.
big three, the big three
The
games
big
of the
three.
week that's coming up right next. Well, I'm excited about talk about this right here because every week it get better, Cat, and it get better and it get better. But the crazy part about it, somehow Jones always in our big three. Is that because they play some of the best competition?
Right now, they have one of the hardest schedules, especially in the beginning of this season. Um, I mean, but anytime Jones is on the field with a lot of the teams that's around here, they're not ducking smoke. And Edgewater versus Jones, that's one of the biggest games in Central Florida. So it was no way that we were missing that one from being on the board as one of our big three. You
Yeah,
get me?
yeah, I can see that there definitely when we talk about the big three itself, and once we get the first one post up, we can dive into it and break it down a little bit. I tell you one thing, we're talking about Saturday games and why move a game
Yeah.
to a Saturday. Some say it's because they want to make more money and more people to come. That's okay. Everybody gonna be all over the place when it come on a Friday night. So I'm saying they want to dodge the rain, the bad weather. They try to go a little earlier. But to move a game on a Saturday, Jones have done that back to back now. What was the purpose behind putting a game on a Saturday?
Well, I think when you when you talk about the past couple of weeks, we've had crazy torrential downpour. It's been where like I go out on Saturdays. You get me? And the mud bowls that I've had to record in this past couple of weeks is crazy. You get me? So I know that even on Friday night, it would be pretty horrendous. I for those last couple of weeks, they played at the stadium. You get me? Not just anywhere. We're talking about the Citrus Bowl, one of the top stadiums to play in our state. You get what I'm saying? So by all means, this is where the finals have been played. The state finals have been played for a couple of years, et cetera, et cetera. So the facilities are on par with college facilities. You get what I'm saying? If it shoot, it is a college facility. You have the all types of bowl games being played there and everything
Mm-hmm.
else. So why wouldn't you want to move your game to a facility that actually can handle the terrain and and those last two games have been extreme big time matchups. You're talking about Evans and Jones, two teams. If you're not going to Jones, you're going to Evans, and it's because you're zoned right next to each other. You get what I'm saying? So the crowds and the amount of just of tradition in these games, I don't think either one of their home fields would have been able to hold the capacity.
Well, I
You
know
get me?
Evans did end
Yep.
up having their games at Evans this year, but Evans does have two big sides of the stadium. We
Oh,
call that double E back in the days. See, back in the day, for those that do not know, Edgewater High School and Evans used to share that field. So Edgewood
Really?
had their home games there, and Evan had their home game there. That's why they call it Double E Stadium at one point in time. So that do hold, but
Okay.
at the same time, I did recognize that it was so tight in there that fights can go in different.
Different.
It's so
Yeah,
tight. But at a Campbell World
Got to
Stadium,
control the
it was so much
situation.
space. You're spaced out. You got some more area to grow. It was different, and it was like being at a college game in that set. And I had the opportunity to go into that one, so I can see it both ways. But I just didn't know why they really moved to a Saturday. Because I don't
and
know
I
if I
don't
see.
think. Me
Hey,
personally, I
the
don't think.
the real question is why not?
Well, I know it wasn't because of the.
Why not?
I know it wasn't because of the rain because they had the game at nighttime, the same time that it would be during on a Friday. That particular game, the Evans game, I know why they did move it to a Saturday, is because due to the I guess the history of the two teams, they didn't want it to be a night game, and the reason it wasn't at Camping World because Camping World costs money. It's more expensive to do a game at Camping World. I'm not sure if Jones gets a better discount or
Yeah, they do.
whatnot. What
Yeah, I think they do.
so that's why they was there because it probably preferred to been played at Camping World Evans versus Jones, but that won't happen. But normally that I since I've been here for the last couple years covering football, Jones' first game of the season has been played at Camping World. Um, I don't know if it was last year, but the year before they played Northwestern there, I was there. I don't know if
Correct.
last year if they played anybody there at the beginning of the season, but this year they played Seminole there. But I just think it was just an atmosphere thing to have that big game rivalry, Edgewater versus Jones, at that particular location or whatnot. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull up the first game real quick, you guys. I got first up West Orange versus the Braves.
Okay.
What's on, man? Well, I tell you, the game here was kind of interesting. Just watching more of the highlights on this one here, and just did my research and talked to a couple of the coaches, a couple of the players over there in this game here. We had the pleasure of having Brian Diller on the show on the coach's corner. The kid that played wide receiver, quarterback, defense, and defensive back all in one game. Very multi. I don't know if he a Travis Hunter type kid or what, but he does a lot of amazing things on the field. I was very impressed with him in the high school being able to move around like that on a large class. West Orange is not a 1A, 2A school. We're talking about 7A high level school that play against some high talent teams like the Dr. Phillips and the Edgewaters and the Jones. So to be able to be able to play quarterback, wide receiver, defensive back, whatever the case might be, wherever they need him at, that was huge for them. He did throw a beautiful touchdown to Devontae Anderson, and I was wow. I mean, I was waiting on him to shine and to step up. And Devontae, number 12 for West Orange, he did step up. I mean, I was like, go, boy. I mean, I was waiting to see it. And he had a beautiful, beautiful pass from Brian Diller, deep threat, took the top off the ball, we called it. Then he lines up and played defensive back. He's also a two-way player. That was very, very impressive. And keep in mind, they do have some of the top cornerbacks over there in the area, like a Donovan Lanier, like a Ike Taylor, that
I
committed. Well, he
too.
committed to Michigan now. So and you have Donovan Lanier committed to Ball State. So you have still got some guys there, even though they lost a couple of key players that's now over at some of the top other programs. They're doing well, and kudos to them. But when all said and done, they're 3-0. West Orange is 3-0 right now on the board, and they winning their games with no problem. So I'm very excited to see that out of West Orange. But I say on the flip side, of Boone came into play, but we already know that Boone was back like more like to me like a more rebuilding year, to my opinion. I mean, of course, a dog is a dog. You got Arizona commit, Isaiah Mizell, and he did exactly what we thought he was going to do, get his. And he did get his and got a touchdown that game, too. So, and it's all said and done. On my side of it, West Orange did win that game. Hey, congratulations to West Orange. Katt, what you got on this?
So, um, I'm looking here at the box scores, and one thing that did jump out to me is Mr. Ivan Taylor. He actually had a kick return in this game. Without that kick return, we're looking at a tie score, 24 to, well, 17 to 17. So big kudos to Mr. Ivan Taylor for being an impact player and changing the dynamic of this game on the third phase of the game, special teams. Okay. Big shouts out to you.
Well, I want to say this from this game of the week here, you guys. I think we're all 3-0 on this game here. I think we all picked West Orange. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, and
Yes, sir.
before we move forward, I need to call these people out because it always disappear. So Derek Stevens, let me switch it up. Hold on 1 second. So Derek Stevens just asked, "Isn't Edgewater down this year compared to other years?" Can one of you guys answer that?
I can say offensively they are definitely up, and they even in match of the years they don't been to the either state championship or not. I mean, I think they got some talent on that side. They got a guy that can stretch the field and do things. They can make it happen, as you seen against Jones. All the receivers were making plays. Defensively, definitely, to my opinion, they are down on defense side of the ball. The linebacker position, though, I mean, not having key linebackers. It's tough. It's very tough for them, to my opinion. From there, they had a big commit that left last year, went to North Carolina. The cornerback Kyle Bates went to Florida State. So they do have a couple guys out there, but yes, this is a down year defensively, to my opinion. For Edgewater, offensively, I think they're just as strong.
All right. So the next question, I got from Lee Davis. He said, "Let's cut to the chase." I think he's talking about the stadium thing against Jones. He put the money sign. So he said,
Uh,
"Let's cut to the chase." What do you think he talking mean by that?
I mean, of
Ain't
course, if
talking about it, man.
you have a game on a
Make some money.
Saturday. Hey, look, listen, everybody play on Friday nights. Then you got Saturday, the youth game in around about 4 o'clock. What you got to do? Come watch the big game. More people come in, they make money. Is that the case? That the case? But here, there, the
So
crowd did get bigger. I will say that it was. There's some people that probably wouldn't be there, like me, on a Saturday. But yeah, it was some people there.
Dang, it went away. John Jacob said he said it was about money, but he did say, was the turnout was expected, Coach Lowe, since she was there?
At first, it was not. Here's what I found out: was I was very disappointed in whoever did this. When I looked at it, it said the game's gonna be at 4. Then someone said the game was at 6 p.m. When I finally bought my ticket the day up, it said the game's at 5 p.m. When I
Oh, it
got
did
there,
change 3 times. Okay.
yeah. When I got there, I said, man, where everybody at? It would have been the people in there. Round about first quarter going, I looked again, the people was everywhere. Come to find out, everyone thought the game was at 6 p.m.
Oh, so they made a mistake somewhere. They probably trying to.
Yeah.
This is my opinion, you guys. So don't beat me up. They're probably trying to manage the weather. You know how the weather usually is. So I guess they. That's one thing. That's the only thing I can think
Yeah.
of. How you go from 4 or 5 to 6, and we don't even play football games at 6 o'clock, anyways.
Well,
So or 5. All right. So he said.
Say, how
So we're
much
gonna.
does it cost? How
You
much
see,
does games at the Citrus Bowl cost?
oh,
they said it was
$15.
From
I heard they were
No,
taxes
he's
though.
not talking. I don't think he's talking about. Is he talking about or are you talking about to host a game?
He said parking was cheap though, $5.
The
Okay,
party was
he talking
$5.
about going to the game.
Yeah,
Okay, he's talking about going to the
was
game.
10, the game was 15. So yeah, and yeah, that was I ain't gonna lie, I was shocked too. Like $15. And I'm like, hey, you know what? It's all good. Support the brand, support the Tigers, I guess.
All right, so we got ah, next up
There it
here
is.
we got Okoye versus DP. Man, let's talk about this because they messed up my numbers this week.
Yeah, 'cause I know. Yeah, that messed your number. Cat, you went for the Panthers. I went for the Panthers, right? So, Cat
Yes,
2-0.
sir.
I'm 2-0 so far, and Mr. Right Choice, you are 1-1.
And in this one, when I decided to go with the Panthers, I really relied on just the Coach Wells, the coaching staff, having experience and so forth, being a coaching staff that is a state a state contender or someone who has been at state and competed for a state championship. Well, excuse me, not just competed, but actually won a state championship. So by all means, at the end of the day, he knows how to win and how to get his kids in the right predicament for them.
Well, you're definitely right about that because you've seen the sideline where Rodney was on the sideline where he was coaching. He's coached with a lot of passion, a lot of energy. The guys rallied around him. When tough got rough one time, he went in the middle of the field and talked to the boys, and they came out definitely on a tarantula, just kind of just tearing the, like they would say, tear the club up. They were tearing the club up. Red zone shut this down. It was like that. But just to break this game down, I had an opportunity of being at the game and watching it over for myself to see it. I had a big shout out. I mean, a big expectation for O'Coy night. I thought their defense can do well. They've been holding people down to, maybe 10 points or so. Then same thing with Dr. Phillip. But when all said and done, Dr. Phillip defense and O'Coy defense, they played a good game. If you see the score, 21-7, all said and done. But realistically, the defense did some great thing that makes stuff happen. But Stanley Anderson actually moved his feet pretty good and letting the ball go. But the guy that I was impressed with, that especially the first half, was the Robinson kid. That kid there was running very hard. I mean, I try to look at running back, like the Jones running back, the Edgeworth running back, and the Evans running back, and the Osceola running back. But I don't think nobody really talked about this kid from Ocoy. I mean, he ran that ball very hard. I was impressed with that, and all said and done, But then, of course, they were able to attain him when all said and done and slow him down a little bit from there. But Donovan did a great job offensively. They mix it up very well. They're running counters. They're running stretch play. They're running quick pass. They're tunnel screen, bubble screen. Then they went deep up top. I mean, and caught like a 60-yard touchdown pass up top. So they played well offensively, and that's what I reason why I said Dr. Phillip this year for the win, because I knew offensively they can do a little better than moving the ball. But then on defense side of the ball, it was a battle all the way. Mike McClendon Ocoy, he did not disappoint. But I'm sorry, guy, but he is a Mr. Mike McClendon. He's a I don't say I can say a one man band, because they did have Josh over there, the commit they're going to Pitt, that was flying around. But when all said and done, two guys not going to get the job done when it comes to being physical and come to hitting somebody. I mean, this guy had 25 tackles last week, Mike McClendon. He probably had 15, 16, 17 this one, all over the field. So that's not really good when a guy on the left side of the ball run down somebody on the right side and ran past five his own player. We got a problem right there. But he did not disappoint without a doubt. But the man that shocked me the most, before I get into it, the man that shocked me the most on this field, the two defensive end for Dr. Phillip, MJ, and Darius Edwards. Wow. Darius Edwards was sacking. I mean, he put in the pressure. He was tackled for a loss. I mean, this was the kid. And this is what I like when you go to a game and you see kids you
Big
never
shots out to
seen before.
Darius.
Who is that number 44? I'm in the stand. Who's 44? I'm looking up on Max Prep. Who is 44? So that's what I like. He stood out the most to me. And for me, he actually my player of that game, because he wreaked havoc in the red zone. So that's pretty much the breakdown for me in that game there. Good defensive battle, but the offensive Dr. Phillip did a great job.
When you're saying that you witnessed Mr. Michael McClendon running down a player all the way on the other side of the field, at the end of the day, he's going to college not because he had however many tackles, thousands of tackles or whatever. He's going to college because effort speaks volumes on tape, on everything. Effort is everything, man. At the end of the day, if you're gonna outrun even your own teammates to go and get a tackle, that's what I want to see as a scout, as a recruiter, as somebody who's trying to give away a scholarship, a NIL deal, anything. I want to see that effort. And big shots out to you, my guy, Mr. Eminem, Michael McClendon again.
Yeah, well,
All
like I
right,
said, there's a lot of just to close it up. A lot of young guys out there flying around. Like I said, Joshua had a pick for Okoy, and also we had Zorian had a pick for Okoy. Then you look on the other side, you have a safety over there that committed to Duke from Dr. Phillips. So they had a lot of good players, a lot of good athletes on the field. So it was a good
How did
game.
how did
all right.
how did
So
Kimani do?
Key Money played a lot of guys, they played well, but at the same time, they was Dr. Phillips mixed it up so well. A lot of guys didn't get a chance to like. like to shine because they was going left, right up the hole, off tackle, sweep, counter screen, throw the pass, go deep. They
Yes, sir.
played football, offensive, chess. If chess was going
Got
on,
them off
definitely. Yeah,
off
but
balance.
so
All right,
other
you
than that,
guys.
game
So
was well.
let me do some. I'm gonna say thank you guys for all these comments you guys coming in. I'm answering right now. So real quick, Lee just said about DP. Office play calling looks way better this year, and he also said DP looks good, look different this year. What's your thoughts on that, Coach Lowe? Since you was at the game.
Yeah, I definitely agree. From last year, DP was like a rebuilding and everything, but a lot of young kids that decided to stay, be part of the
Mature.
DP, and it caused the coaches and all about matureness and staying together, not transferring in and out. And he definitely right. Stanley Anderson stayed there all the way up his years, and he showed why he's a Middle Tennessee commit. So yes, I totally agree.
All right, thanks. Okay,
They're getting better. They're getting better every single week. You can tell every single week, especially this week, they're putting up uh, 21 versus a very, very stingy defense. Um, they're getting better, bro. So let's go on.
all right, so I got Mr. Johns Jacob. He said, "Question, fellas, how many years how many years do you think it takes for a school to be legendary? Year after with a big graduation class. What's you guys' thoughts?
Well, it's based on that. When they have a big graduation class, first of all, it's gonna depend on how many of them guys that graduated were starters. So it's all about not about how many graduate, how many returners. So a big class graduate 30, 40, and I got 11 returners, I'm gonna still do well. So that's one thing. And then number two, I think because most teams have that JV team, they have a freshman team, and that JV team, I say about in 2 years. Dr. Philip prime example. They were down by 2 years, and they now you see them doing well, undefeated, and gonna do well in the playoff. And last thing is the program to have a feeders program. That one thing that people make a big mistake in, right? Minimal feeder program, kids all over the place. So that's why Lake Mary do so well, continue year after year. Their Lake Mary kids stay at Lake Mary. They get to the 14U, they move up to freshman, they move up
Yeah,
to JV, they move up to varsity. So most programs
yeah.
don't have that anymore, and that's why they struggle, especially in Central Florida, since the different leagues and different teams and do whatever you want to do have changed the game. But Lake Mary, the Apopkas, the Sanfords, that's why they continue to do well. Even Edgewater got a Pop Warner team, and South Central Tigers still over there at Jones, but there's a lot of other programs not doing well because I don't have feeder programs. So I'll say 2 years, 3 years max.
Wait, repeat the question. You said what makes them legendary
What makes them legendary and how many years it take to rebuild, basically?
to rebuild or
Be
be
legendary
legendary?
again. Legendary again.
To be honest, legendary is a very widely everybody has their own definition of what legendary is. Um, it can be defined in so many different aspects. Are you talking about championship runs? Are you talking about dominance of defenses, dominance of whatever? What exactly makes them legendary? You get what I mean? Um,
I think championship legendary for me is a program that wins, have won state championship, always in the hunt, always in the playoff, producing great athletes when they come out. It's
okay.
all a combination of everything, in my opinion.
Yeah, yeah,
With
like
all right,
Alabama.
okay. All right, here you go with that. All right,
Here we
go
go.
on, go
Here
on,
we go. Here we
go
go.
on, go on, go on, Pat.
Here
We're
we
gonna
go.
send you
Pat
back,
Alabama.
send
Here
you
we go.
back
Pat
by
Hey,
Alabama.
Scotsman Mason Dixon.
so let me go ahead and switch it up, man. To the I ain't voting against them no more. So the last one for the day for the pick three is our Jones versus Eagles.
Uh,
31 to 21. Now, I will throw this out there real quick because you know I love a little bit of drama real quick. For word on the street, they said there was a couple of more quarters. Edgewater was tightening it up at the end. That's what I heard.
yeah.
A game of adjustment.
You still,
It
hey,
just
you,
like
hey, you,
like
you
I
still had to stop the Tigers. You still had to stop
Coach,
them.
Lo- but Coach
They
Lowe,
made
you saw your face just a second ago. You saw your face just a second ago.
I mean, you know, I mean, just pound for pound for pound. I will say this: when Lake Mary's on the field with Lakeland, there's some great athletes. When Dr. Phil on the field with O'Coy, great athletes. Edgewater on the field with TFA, a little bit more. But on this field right here, them probably the best athletes in the Central Florida, might not if not just one in the area, definitely on the field at one single time. I seen some of the best out there, hands down, and definitely was the fastest. You can put two 4x1 relay teams out there, and they might be in the state if they had me coaching them on that track. I'm just saying they probably be at the state championship two team. I'm just saying it was like that there. It was definitely was the talent was there, the speed was there, everything. So yeah, man. But Edgewater did came back hard. They came back, but they had to be able to stop Jones on the other side of the ball, and they made some key errors, and they couldn't
So,
stop him.
so I heard because number five did Evans did him in two second half. I heard number five was going. I don't know his name. Sorry, you guys. Number
They had
five on Jones.
Smith,
NyQuil.
Yeah,
Nyquil
Nyquil.
Smith.
NyQuil
I heard he
Smith.
had a really great game against them.
Yeah, Michael Smith was actually my player of the game. He was my player of the game also for this game here. What I loved about him, man, he ran hard, and he got one time he got hit, so he got hit real hard, and shoulder hurt, came back in the game, fought again, and busted up the hole for another 40. He ended up fumbling the ball, got hard on himself, got back in, busted up the hill for another 40. So he kept coming and kept coming. He was a freight train. He was battling out that Joshua Perry kid, though. That Joshua Perry making some good runs and good moves too. But Naquil, he definitely was that guy on that field. Out of all the top players out there, from the Miami commit to Florida Gator commit, Boston College commit, FIU commit, Appalachian State commit, all the commits was out there, and number 5 running back Nyquil Smith was the player of the game. No ifs and buts about it. But they play good football. One thing I did will say too, and hats off to the coaches. They always battle each other, and they always have a great scheme set up for each other. Because like even with Varnell, they had to bracket him, and they were trying to bracket Larry Miles, who had a beautiful blitz pad. We call it the hot pass. The defense end, outside linebacker, whatever, he blitzed and hot pass. Deron seen it, dropped it off. Because they had on sack Deron twice with that same blitz. This time they dropped it off, and he went by about 50, 60-yard touchdown across the green. So they couldn't catch him. He pulled away. So great job on Larry Miles. But it was a battle all the way through. Big plays. Vernell Brown finally came back third quarter, showed why he is a 5-star player. You're not going to stop me. I'm going to get mine. And he went deep and caught a long one, took the top off the ball over 2 defenders. So it showed why he is a 5-star player. No ifs and buts about it. But then Samaj Fleming, I mean, he caught some key passes and ended up had one Wildcat touchdown call back. Now, they had a touchdown call back from Samaj Fleming, about a 15-yarder. So that was a big-time play right there. Caught Emmanuel, another 3-star, was doing well, but he threw a pick at the end, and the turnover right in the red zone. Edge was in the red zone at least 3 times, and they coughed up themselves. A fumble, a pick, and a holding cost 3 times in the red zone, 3 different times in the game. 3 different drives, 3 different times that Edge would have shot themselves in the foot. 3 different times. Now, Jones shot themselves in the foot, when they end up Naquil fumbled at one time. But other than that, Jones had played a very clean game, to my opinion. So that was a good game. They play it again, it'd be a battle the same way. And I'll be honest with you, I don't know who will win it.
Now, Josh. Now, you was at the game. John Jacobs said he stepped out of bounds on that deep catch, though. Eyeballs.
Well, everyone said that, but there's no instant replay, so sorry.
Oh,
I would say this: when Jones has a run game, they're extremely hard to beat. You
Yep.
already know their defense is going to come to play. And they're gonna be methodical about having the ball. You get me? And we're not gonna sit here and just talk about NyQuil all day. Mr. Coleman is a top passer in the nation since 7th grade for a reason. He was an Under Armour All American in 8th grade, blah blah blah, etc. And the list goes on. So you have someone at the helm that's just not he's a pedigree. You get me? So it was gonna be hard for the Eagles to win this game. Um, I I I'm not as confident in the Eagles defense as I am Jones defense. Jones culture is defense first. You get what I'm saying? Um, I I I I just didn't think that they would have pulled it out. And hey, Jones proved me right.
Well, there you go, right there. And I actually went for Edgewater. I know you two guys went for Jones. That put me two and
No,
one. That
I'm
put Cat
I
3-0. And that put you 1-2.
yeah, I went for. I'm not going against Jones no more. And you know what? I should have picked Jones because they beat Evans last week, and I should have picked it like that. But
Like they beat you up, so you got to root for them, golly.
yeah, and I thought about that after the fact. So hey, you guys, don't pay me no to look. I'm still learning this Central Florida football. You guys, you know I'm a Bama guy,
It's
so I'm
okay.
still learning. So I'm still trying to get an understanding of all the schools or whatnot. But I understand talent though. That I do know when I do see it. But I will say number 5. When they made the adjustment against us last week, number 5 was giving a lot of problems to Evans, a lot. So I
Well,
give him a
I,
lot of props, man. And I
another
like his
thing,
size too. He got great size.
Naquel is not a running back initially. Okay, this kid has been a DB forever. To be honest, he's an athlete. He can do whatever you want, whatever you need him to do. I personally have ranked him as a safety, one of the top ones in the nation. But the kid, he can play wherever you need him to play. Obviously, so he's a running back today, and until he says he's not.
The,
Okay.
Well,
this dude just said the rest was getting paid with Kobe gift cards.
Uh,
It was that bad. The rest was that bad that game or something.
I mean, hey,
oh
listen, ain't no
man.
instant replay. Back to that.
Were you on the sideline, Coach Lowe, or you was on in a stadium?
I went up top the second half. There, I went up top and I looked down, and yeah, I seen it. I seen that pass, but ain't no instant replay. Let's keep it moving. Just a quick wrap up, if you want to see it right there. Dr. Phillip did defeat Okoye 21-7,
Oh,
and with the Darius Edwards was that player of the game to from my pick. Then you do come over to Boom and Weston ended up winning 24-17. Devontae Anderson, good touchdown offense, tackles on defense, played both ways in the game, player of the game from my observation. And the Jones Tiger defeated Edgewater 31-21 right there with a strong beginning in the first half. Edgewater tried to come back in the second half, but could not prevail. And with Mr. Naquil Smith, running back number 5 as player of the game. Wednesday, we will have the pick player of the week on Wednesday.
so quick question. So Timothy Mullers, I think that's on Cat's page. He said, "What about the kicking game?" I guess he's talking about Jones in Edgewater game.
Well, the kicking game was pretty well. I will now. Here's what I don't know why I wrote that down too. I I was very impressed. I normally Jones don't really have kickers. I'm telling you.
Oh, that dude can kick. You talk about this defense,
Yes,
boy, bro,
yes,
You
man,
excited about it,
yes,
but oh,
bro,
he
because
must got a
yes.
golden boot.
I was tripping on
No,
the sideline. That dude can
yes,
He got a
kick,
yes.
highest
boy.
boot.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
boy,
talking
that
about,
dude can.
What's
and
his
that's
name?
when it tough got when it got looked like okay, Edgewater might come back this way that way. I was like, Long Jones all
Hey,
that guy is almost like Mr. Automatic. Now Edgewater had a kicker too that was kicked well too, but that kick from Jones. And matter of fact, that's probably why he asked you that question because I think his mother's is the son.
what?
Ask
Look,
him his mother's his son. 'Cause I think
let me
that's the
go to his
kicker.
page. Hey, Mr. Tim, if you still watching, man, is that his
Hold
son
on,
or
that's
whatnot?
Tim Mullis.
Yeah. Hey, so another dude just said,
Tim Mullis. Tim Mullis. So his son played for Fort Meade Miners with Mr.
Yeah,
Darion
yeah,
Jones,
yeah,
and
yeah.
they won a Pop Warner. No, it wasn't Pop Warner, but they won a national championship together. So
And
that young man, Casey Mullis, I believe his name
yeah,
was.
and here's
That's
what's
one of
crazy.
my guys. Oh
You know,
my
and
gosh!
I know why Mullis is saying that because he's the one that was his daddy. I knew the name hit me, but we so focused on skill.
Yes,
His son
sir.
was our kicker for FBU. He the one that
Yes, he
brought
was.
Darion to
Yes, he
FBU. And,
was.
and that is a great guy. Shout out to Tim Mullis. My apologies.
Big shots out.
Big shout out to Tim Mullis and his son did an amazing job. Great kicker. We got to get him prop. And now that we're getting the kicker prop, let's go ahead and get the trenches some prop too
Hold
because
on.
them running back can't do nothing without the
Go
trench.
ahead, keep on.
So Edward, I think this is coach, but don't get on Mr. Edward Riles Jr. Y'all know what I'm talking about?
Hey, yeah, we know
Ca-
who that is. That
Oh,
my guy. What's up?
Casey
He from
Casey Mullins.
Jones.
Casey Mullins is a 4-star, he said, and then I think a young lady asked, "Is Jones' defense really that good, or was it that Edgewater just didn't show up
I
on
am that's
Saturday?"
Jones defense is good. Edgewater had, like I said, going into the end zone. Edgewater had 3 different drives where on their own mistake, farming the ball, not getting throwing a pick and holding on a touchdown. So, but Jones defense, yes, is good, and Edgewater did not capitalize on a couple drive. So good game all over again. So yes.
And Ryan Nolan said, "Happy birthday to the R&R crew." Hey, good job,
Hey,
hey
my
man.
my
I
baby
think
boy.
I appreciate everybody for showing us love tonight. Tonight's really good, man. We got a lot of people that's been tuning in. I'm trying to go through all 3 pages to make sure I don't miss anybody on this particular show here. But just a real recap, real quick. I'm 1-3 this week. Cat is 2-1. No, Cat is 3-0. What are you?
2 weeks
Yeah,
in a row.
he 3-0. Screw you, shit,
And
cat.
then Coach Low
I'm
Coach Low
6
two
and 0.
is at 2-1. So, you guys, that's the recap of our game of the weeks this week. Now we're gonna do our quick transition over to to the kids from Central Florida that's playing on Saturdays. Even though high school's on Saturday, they messed up all our college watching. So, real quick, I'm gonna start from the bottom. Tommy Hill, they got a pick last week from Shador, got 5 tackles. RJ Harvey,
Hello.
that boy, animal
He
boy.
was
He had
balling.
29 carries, I believe. Coach Low put for
Yep.
197 yards, 2 touchdowns, and beat TCU. It
He
came
had
back and beat
three
them.
total touchdowns. He had one passing, well, I mean, one receiving
Catching.
and two running,
Look, when I looked at
two rushing.
the score was 28-7 going to the fourth quarter. I'm like, God dang it, UCF. I said, I need y'all to win. I look back, let's go 35-34.
Yep. Coach Malzone was not Coach Gus wasn't playing the game. He was telling boy, y'all can do it. Believe and let's go. Somebody said that TCU like eased off the gas, but I don't know. I don't know. They didn't let them ease off the gas to me
Look,
because they were balling.
I
Hey,
have to give it. I have
a
to give it to the
win is
quarterback.
a win, baby.
I had to
Yes,
give it to the
sir.
quarterback because he ain't been playing that great in my opinion the first 2 games. He's throwing that thing, and I love Hudson, boy. Hudson, a beast, boy, out there,
Yeah, and hey,
out there.
man, they had and when RJ Harvey came out the game, that running back number 5 came in, another number
Oh,
5 came in doing his thing. They was playing well.
so the next one we have here, you guys, and also real quick, we're not gonna stay on too long. If you got any kids that play and they did a really good game, please put the comments below. But Zane Durant, DN for Penn State, was Player of the Week versus Bowling Green.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So there you
Hey,
go.
Big Zane from Lake Nona, represented Lake Nona youth football as well. He's a national champ, AAU national champ. Um, he's also a Trenchman Academy alumni. If you guys do not know Mr. Zane, number 28, he will be playing on Sundays. Go follow him right now. Please go follow him. He is
So,
one
Well,
of our own.
I
so
do
this,
want to throw a quick another shout out. Not we're gonna go bigger because we're always recognizing our players. Let's go to NFL last week. Detroit Lion Kirby Joseph with an interception from the Jones High Tigers.
yeah. So let's recap real quick off the Central Florida. Let's go back on the Florida college teams who won. Miami won 62-0.
Again,
62-0 real quick. Who what was the gate
bruh.
We don't care.
six
We don't want to hear all that.
look, I
Florida
got to. Hold on.
State.
Give me a second. Give me
Oh
a
my
second.
gosh.
Don't talk
Florida
about Florida
State
State.
lost
Hey, y'all
again.
see I covered up my chair back there, right?
Hey
I'm just
y'all,
kidding.
But
I'm
they
just
ain't play
kidding. I'm
this
just
week.
like
Gators didn't play this week.
I
Oh yeah,
I
they did.
I'm a
They lost
king.
Texas
You
A&M.
hear me? I'm a king. You hear me? But I root for every Florida team. I don't care who you going against, except the Canes. You hear me?
So
So
we struggling
I'm
right now.
disappointed. I'm disappointed in Florida State, y'all. And I know Florida State fans out there, y'all upset right now. But we've been waiting to kick y'all butt for years. So I don't think it'll be any mercy come that week.
So
But I love y'all.
so got another one. I got somebody just wrote something in. Ryan Nolan, number 32, Texas State, third on the team in
Yes,
tackles.
sir.
Yes,
Zane Dur-
sir.
Zane Durant is a FBU alumni.
Yes,
Uh,
sir.
Yes.
Malik got a sack in a Miami game.
Yep. Yes, sir.
Let me see
Yep.
my other page. Anybody else wrote anything else?
Malik Bryant, right there from the Jones High Tigers again. Oh, sorry,
Yes, sir.
Mr. Right Choice. Man, got hit for a sack.
Mr.
Got his first
Nolan
sack of the
Ryan.
game.
Hey, I'm
Mr.
gonna
No-
see. I'm
Go
gonna
ahead.
see them on Saturday though. I'm going to the Miami versus USF Saturday, so I'm gonna make sure I get the boy
Oh,
from
yeah.
Evans, and I'll make sure I get my Malik too as well. So
Marquise.
hope our next Sunday wrap up. I hope I have some clips so we can show the clips of what they did from Sports Club Florida. Yours truly. So let me see.
Yes, sir.
Go Tigers! Oh my gosh, go! So that's the recap, real quick, you guys, off the college and also the kids in college and also pros too as well. Pros still going on. We'll probably do some recap on who played well from Sunday on Wednesday, real quick. But back at it again, you guys. Once appreciate everybody that has showed us love. Well, another person too, Nakaya. Sorry if I said that wrong. Is balling at Michigan State. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Know who that is?
Who that?
You said
N A
no.
it
Oh, yes, yes,
Nakai.
yes.
Nakai.
Nakai
Nakai.
Yeah, I'm horrible
Martinez.
with names.
Nakai,
Sorry.
Nakai Martinez.
Nakai Martinez from Apopka.
Popka, yeah, it was at UCF transfer over to Michigan State.
Yes,
Balling
sir.
up there. I seen him up there representing the brand. The whole family up there representing the brand. That was good. And listen, we're gonna talk about a little bit of that too. But hey, I also want to.
Who is hold on? Who is John
He
Jacobs?
said,
He said Florida State's losing because somebody keep
John
putting
Jacob
raisins in it.
Jingle Hammersmith.
Put
You
put
ain't know
put
his
potato
name is
salad
my name too.
potato salad per the tea. Somebody
All
said
right, okay. Listen, hey, listen. Let's make sure.
Jones Jacob.
Let's do this right here. I know we wrapping it up, but hey, Wednesday, 8 o'clock, Coach's Corner with Coach Lowe. I got some players coming on. Get the Player of the Week coming on there. We got some couple players, couple coaches gonna come on. I got a special guest, a surprise guest for you guys Wednesday. Then we got our 9 o'clock midweek wrap up Wednesday, Hump Day Wednesday. On that Wednesday, wrap up on Wednesday, and then we back at the high school wrap up next Sunday, 9 o'clock. Hey, we stand on time, same time, consistency. We are there, Sports Club Florida.
yeah. So thank you again, everybody. This is our fifth. Even though this is the fifth week, we actually been doing this 6 weeks. So, you know, all of us have jobs and we all been consistently doing this at nighttime. Just to give you guys another perspective of what's going on in the youth world, high school world, and college world, because I know a lot of people are busy. So I'm glad for you guys to tune in to listen to us. We really appreciate all you guys. Appreciate Katt for coming on. Appreciate Coach Lowe for coming on and giving their insights on this beautiful game that we all played. So thank you all again for tuning in. Don't forget Katt R&R Sports and Coach Lowe Excel Speed if you want to get faster. But if you're real slow, like a 10 flat 7, I don't know if he can get you really, really fast. I don't know if he can get you that.
Burn, baby, burn.
So now I had to say a little joke real quick. So, man, good night again tonight. We passed 10 o'clock, and we see you guys on Wednesday, Coach's Corner and mid recap, and peace out. If you ain't never hit R&R Top 100 FBU, I'm sorry.
Hello.
Hand on the game, we are not playing the same. No, we not looking to change. Hand on the wall. Shit, think we lacking the drive. Boy, you should stay in your lane. Put on